I have a quote, and I also did a video on my YouTube channel with the quote as a title of my video. And my quote is, "Once a lesbian, always a lesbian." And my name is Giselle Wallace. I am a lesbian life coach and author. Here on my YouTube channel, I do provide my lesbian perspective. And if that interests you, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, and share the video. Thank you very much. So there's been a lot of talk about men saying that they're sleeping with lesbians who identify as studs. And what a stud is, this is a description of a female homosexual who has a masculine presentation physically in her appearance, as far as the way she dresses and the way she may style her hair. And also, this can refer to her mannerisms. She may have more masculine tendencies and behaviors and presentation. So that's generally what a lesbian stud means. And I'm saying stud because stud is also referred specifically to Black women. Now, there's another term that you refer to female homosexuals who are masculine presenting when they identify as white or Caucasian or Hispanic or Latino or any other race that is non-Black. And they usually refer to themselves as being butch. Today, I am addressing specifically lesbian studs, but this does not mean that this message is not inclusive of other races of women who are masculine presenting homosexual women who identify as butch, because this is also referring to you as well. But when Black men are saying that they are sleeping with lesbian studs, they are referring to Black women who identify as lesbian. And I wanted to address this issue because, for one, a man, whether he's a Black man, a white man, a Hispanic man, an Asian man, an Indian man, whatever his race is, if he is a man, he cannot speak on behalf of a woman when it's referring to her sexual orientation. And the reason why is because he is not a woman. He does not know how a woman truly thinks as well as feels, or how she truly understands her sexual orientation. And so for a man to profess matter-of-factly that he sleeps with lesbian studs, he is basically saying that women who identify as lesbian are not truly lesbian. He is saying that men have access to lesbians sexually, and this is a lie. And I am addressing this today because for men to say that they are sleeping with lesbian studs, this is a major issue because it's very disrespectful, it's inappropriate, it's insulting, and it is false information that many men are actually spreading about lesbian identified women who are masculine presenting, aka lesbian studs. And I identify as a lesbian. I am not a lesbian stud. I am a femme lesbian. That means that I am a lesbian who has feminine presentation and feminine mannerisms. However, because I am a lesbian, I know how a woman who identifies as a lesbian thinks and feels, even though she is masculine and I am feminine, because at the end of the day, we are still women who identify as lesbian. And it actually bothers me to see these men, specifically these black men, claiming that they have relationships with black lesbian studs. And when I say relationships, they're not talking about being in a romantic relationship or dating a woman or even being married to a woman. They're specifically focused on having sexual intercourse with a black lesbian stud. And this has to stop because it is a false accusation. And that's why I've titled my video, Men Are Not Sleeping with Lesbian Studs. Because you're not. Lesbians are female homosexuals. Homosexual people are not attracted to the opposite sex, romantically and or sexually. That is the definition of a homosexual. So because men are very sexist as well as controlling when it comes to women, they like to fool themselves into believing that they have access to all women. And might I add that you really don't have access to all women, even heterosexual women, because not every woman wants you. And if that angers you, then you have something within yourself that makes you feel inadequate, and you are not operating in a productive, mature, or healthy manner. And it is not a game to play with people's lives, to misconstrue the truth about a woman's sexual orientation. Women have enough issues in this world, and to be lied on about their sexual orientation is very discriminatory and it's oppressive. I have a book that I wrote because of this issue, but just for all lesbians in general, specifically Black lesbian women, I'm an author, and I wrote a book titled Lesbian Erasure, How to Cope, Black Lesbian Edition, end quote. I wrote this book because it was mandatory that I write it, because our sexual orientation as lesbians is being attacked. We are not respected for who we are as lesbian female identified persons. And we should not be lied on and discriminated against, nor should we be misrepresented by men, because a man can never say or express what a woman is thinking or feeling. So why is he lying about who a lesbian is? You are part of the problem of lesbian erasure by claiming that you are sleeping with lesbian studs and you're a man. That is a part of the whole issue with lesbian erasure, because there's a plethora of issues that fall under lesbian erasure, but specifically for this video, I am addressing men who are saying that they are having sex with lesbian studs. And they're making such big noise about it because they want to omit our identity as lesbians. And why are they making such a huge deal about sleeping with a lesbian stud? They're making a big, huge deal about it because they know that it's not true. They know that they don't have access to lesbian studs. But they want to deceive people to make them believe that lesbian studs or lesbians don't really exist. That they can actually sleep with whoever they want to at their own time and whenever they feel like it. As if we don't have any type of autonomy over our bodies. You speak against us as if we're some type of slave, a sex slave. And it is highly offensive. And why, as a man, are you announcing to everybody that you had sex with a lesbian stud? Because women do not like men who kiss and tell. But you kiss and tell all the time. And this is a big clue, a big obvious sign that you're lying about who you're sleeping with. Because if you were really sleeping with a lesbian stud, you would keep your mouth shut. Because you would know that this is rare. This is something that is really impossible. But it's not happening. And that's why you're so loud about it. So there's so much content out here. And now lesbian studs are under attack and they feel completely violated and disrespected because they know they're not out here sleeping with men, but yet they have these men who claim that they are being slept with. But who you're sleeping with, if you're sleeping with someone, you're not sleeping with lesbian studs. You're sleeping with women who are lying about their sexual orientation. Just because a woman is masculine in her presentation, her dress, the way she styles her hair, maybe her mannerisms, the way she talks, the way she walks, maybe she reminds you of one of the fellas. But I don't really think she does, because if she was one of the fellas and you are a heterosexual man, why would you want to sleep with a person that reminds you of another man? That would mean you're not heterosexual. But if you are claiming to be a heterosexual man and that you're sleeping with a lesbian stud, this is a hypocrisy, because the only thing remotely that you have in common with a lesbian stud, if you are a heterosexual man, is that you both are attracted to women exclusively. I'll repeat, if you claim that you are a heterosexual man and that you are sleeping with a lesbian stud, that is very much so a falsehood, because the only thing that you have in common with this lesbian stud is that you both exclusively are attracted to women. So why would she be having sex with you and you're a man? If you are sleeping with a woman who has a physical appearance of being tomboyish or masculine in appearance, and she is a woman, she is not a lesbian. There are women who are actually heterosexual who look masculine in their presentation, but they are heterosexual women. There are also women who look masculine in their presentation, but they are not lesbian. They are bisexual women or pansexual women or demisexual women. And if you do not know what those terms mean, that means that you are not well versed about what sexual orientation is. So you are not in any place or condition as a man to announce to the world that you are having sex with lesbian studs, because you don't really know what sexual orientation means. Men are not sleeping with lesbian studs. And you need to stop lying, and you need to stop disrespecting and defaming and insulting lesbian studs. We know our sexual orientation as lesbians, and we do not appreciate being denied about who we are. We do not appreciate being objectified as sexual objects. And we do not appreciate being omitted as lesbian identified women, because we exist, we've always existed, and we will continue to exist. Be a man and work on yourself. Because if you are a man running around telling the world that you have sex with lesbian studs, you don't need to be with any woman at all. As a matter of fact, women find you repulsive. So more than likely, you don't have a woman. You will attract the type of woman who does not love herself if you get a woman. So you really don't know what kind of woman you're sleeping with. I am Giselle Wallace, lesbian life coach and author. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like and share the video. Respect people for who they are. You only get respect when you give respect.